One other thing to know about is the safety. Okay, now in real experiments, for example, we're going to do an experiment here, and it's possible that the copter will fly away and probably go to other buildings or go to the street, and this is very dangerous. So imagine that you would like just to constrain the motion of the quadcopter into a certain limited area. So in this case, we have to enable what we call the geofence, or what we call safety measures. Okay, so here it's in the menu safety, and then we can specify different options. So first of all, you need to enable the geofence, circle geofence enabled. It means we're going to consider a circular area where the copter will be authorized to fly. And altitude geofence enabled, it means we're going to put a constraint on the maximum altitude of the drone. And then you can also specify if these constraints are violated, what you would like the drone to do. You can just ask the drone to give you a report or a warning that the constraints were violated, or you can force the drone to return to the starting points, that is launch or land. So now I'm going to specify a radius of 30 meters, okay, and a maximum altitude of 7 meters. And then I'm going to save this into the drone. I think it's automatically saved. We have to make it here. Maximum altitude allowed before geofence is 7. I'm going. So the minimum value here is 10. Okay, so we can specify the maximum radius and the maximum altitude. So for example, here we would like to specify an altitude of 12. Okay, in QGround controller, it's sufficient that you put the value and it's going to be automatically saved to the drone. And even now, if you come back and to the safety menu, you're going to find the same values that you have put. We have also voltage threshold. You can specify what is the minimum voltage that you allow. For example, if you allow voltage of 11 volts, and what you'd like to do, for example, if the battery is below the threshold, for example, you can force it to land or to return to launch. Land is actually safer because returning to launch, if the drone went far away, returning to drone, maybe the remaining battery would not be sufficient for the drone to come back. So it's better that you force the drone to land immediately. And here also, when you have a problem with the throttle fail-safe, you can return to launch or always land, or also continue with the mission in autonomous mode. Same thing for ground station fail-safe. If you do not receive the heartbeat messages from the ground station, so you can enforce the drone to return to launch, or to enable to continue the mission, or you can just disable this fail-safe operation here. Now for returning to launch, you can return at the current altitude, or you can return at specified altitude. So here it's 15 meters, but I'm going just to put return at the current altitude, and that's pretty much it. Now we can check about our constraints. So I will go back to the navigation display, and let's now try to make the drone taking off at a certain altitude. So first of all, I'm going to change the mode guided.
Guided flight mode.
Okay, I'm going to arm the throttle. And
Armed. Guided flight mode.
Take off 10. So when I make take off 10, okay, that's pretty much fine. You can see that because now the fail-safe operation is 11, make it at 11. We can see here param show So the maximum altitude is 12. It's the same that we have set here. Okay, we set it to 12. You can see that this is the fence alt maximum. Okay. Now imagine that you would like to change the altitude to a higher value. For example, 30. Slide to change the altitude. Okay, now
Return to land flight mode.
Now it's going to return to launch, you can see, because you have violated the geofence constraint. So the drone now is coming back to the return to the start position because of this constraint. So this is the maximum altitude that was violated, and this is the action to be done, that is return to launch. So we can see now the drone is landing, okay, as you can see here.
Disarmed. Return to land flight mode.
Okay, let's make it fly again. And now, so this is now we have checked that the altitude violation induced return to launch. Now we are going to check
Guided flight mode.
going very far. So I'm going to arm again. Okay.
Armed. Guided flight mode.
We're going to take off, for example, at 2 meters.
Brake flight mode.
Let's change the altitude to, for example, 7. I'm going to land again.
Land flight mode. Disarmed. Land flight mode.
Okay, so let's switch to guided again.
Guided flight mode.
I'm going to arm
Armed. Guided flight mode.
and then take it off at 7 meters. You can see now the drone is taking off and go to 7 meters. So imagine that I will take the drone just to this close goal here. Okay, so there is no problem. You can see that the drone now is moving. Okay, let's imagine that I would like to take the drone a little bit further. So this is the football field that has 80 meters width over 100 meters, 110 meters. So I'm going to take it at this corner here, which is really out of the allowed range. So you can see what happens.
Return to land flight mode.
So when it went further than the authorized radius, that is 30 meters, the copter is going back to the start location at the same altitude as you can see here. So this is the option about geofence, where you can put some constraints or safety constraints so that the drone could not go to unauthorized areas.
Disarmed. Return to land flight mode.